Before we kick off today's episode of Best in Class, we here at the award-winning Best in Class production studio would like to make a statement regarding certain comments made in our previous episode. It was mentioned that the hosts of a different BattleMech-related Trivid series had suffered a hilarious, yet potentially dangerous and reckless fall during a private event, and that the hosts of said show were entirely at fault.
Yes, indeed. Myself and James have been informed that the sunder used during the events was faulty, and the hosts piloting said Omnimech tried their best to prevent a fatal accident, and were not at all inebriated when in control of said machine. Contrary to reports, footage, and first-hand accounts, the host of the other BattleMech-related show, who are yet to win an award for the last 9 years straight, did everything in their power to prevent the accident from happening.
Now with that out of the way, let's get on to the mechs. The Blood Asp, a surly newcomer to the clan arsenal, this apparent snub to the Blood Spirit clan boasts some new fancy clan heavy weapons technology, alongside a jaw-jacking pair of Gauss rifles. Though it can get a little toasty in a firefight, pretty much any opponent who walks away from a fight with one will be sporting a few extra holes. The Cyclops. The classic assault unit gets its time to shine, replete with the B-2000 battle computer, a piece of equipment rarer than a punchline from Eddie that lands. Many attribute this as a mini Atlas when it actually predates the venerable assault. Though it lacks armour compared to other 90-tonners, the Cyclops excels in the support role, bringing its short-range fire to bear when it's needed most. The Highlander 2C, another clan attempt to improve an already impressive design. The 2C model of the Highlander comes equipped with even more firepower and the same jumping capability of its forebear. Myself and Eddie have gone back and forth on which of the clan MacLeod is superior, and tonight we shall find out. The Highlander, the assault that made flattening mechs a hobby. The original Highlander was an iconic mech that stood as a symbol of the old Star League. It was so popular when the invasion came round, the clans brought a few of the original 732Bs with them for us to reclaim after we were done kicking their asses. How thoughtful of them. The Mad Cat Mark II. Diamond Shark's latest get-rich-quick scheme didn't have the impact they thought it would have with their fellow tube mates, turning to the inner sphere for sales. Another clan assault that relies on the twin power of Gauss rifles. The Mad Cat Mark II certainly has some stiff competition to live up to tonight. The Mauler. The name says it all, really. One of the most beautiful assault units ever produced in the inner sphere. The Mauler is a high heat, high damage, long-range brutalist. Whatever gets close after closing the distance with a Mauler will no doubt be feeling the pain from its bevy of missile, autocannon, and energy weapon systems. The Supernova. Clan Nova Cat's most straightforward design contest winner. 90 tons? Check. 6 ER large lasers? Check. Inadequate number of heatsinks? Check. A whole load of fun? Most certainly check. The name implies the outcome should you fire all 6 at once. Do not fire all 6 at once. Now with that done, let's get to the drag race. Well, Eddie, it's a big one this time. 7 racers, and they're off.
Yeah, they're off alright.
Well, I mean, the Cyclops has got a bit of pace to it.
Has it? Is that what we're calling that?
Well, it was bound to happen, Eddie. It happens every season. As soon as you get into the assault mechs, it's always very slow.
You know, if I knew it was going to be this slow, I'd have gone and got myself another cup of tea.
Well, I've got myself a quiche.
Oh, okay.
The suspense will finish it by the time the race ends.
Oh,
here we go. They're crossing the finish line.
Yeah,
It's the Cyclops. Ooh, closely finished there by the followed by the Mad Cat Mark II and the Blood Asp, second and third.
Okay.
We're getting into the finish now. Oh, it's very neck and neck, but it's the Highlander 2C, the Supernova, Highlander and Mauler. Not surprising with the Mauler as we go over to the scoreboard there. Well, Eddie, I guess we take it over to our gopher in a simulator.
Yes. You know, some people say he's an incredible dancer because he has 2 right feet.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that he once piloted the simulator so badly, he crashed it. I don't know whether either of those are true, but I do know it's true. We call him Critical Rocket.
Now, Eddie, I know that, obviously, the clan mechs are certainly your favourites, Eddie. You're always talking about how great they are and how amazing the Blood Asp is.
No, I don't.
And here we are, starting alphabetical order. It's the Blood Asp.
Yeah, yes, the Blood Asp, yeah.
It's a very powerful mech, Eddie.
Yes, it is.
Quartet of heavy medium lasers, some of the latest technology from Clan Space, combined with a single Streak 6 2-medium pulse and a pair of Gauss rifles, high-mounted on those shoulders.
Yes, very high-mounted, which makes a change from some of the clan tech, which we found that some of their weapons are very low-slung, which can be a problem.
Yes, in a couple of runs that we've been able to have in some old salvage or battered clan units or some simulators, we have noticed, yes, that a phrase unfortunately coined by Rocket, LSAS, for low-slung arm syndrome, is a problem with a lot of clan units.
It is, yeah. And obviously the clans are perhaps more used to that setup, but we haven't seen that in some of the battles, the Innisphere have been able to use their clearance as an advantage.
Oh, indeed. Mechs like the Hunchback have certainly been able to, for centuries now, peek a shoulder over the top of a small hill and let loose with hellfire. And this is certainly what the Blood Asp is capable of, with those pair of Gauss rifles being able to just edge over the top and get a very deadly dual hit. But no heat generation virtually as well, Eddie. Gauss rifles are the way of the future.
Yes, they certainly are, yes. And this mech, as you say, uses them to great effect, though perhaps not with Rocket at the controls.
Well, no, not with Rocket. Of course, it's the first of the 90-ton matches here. No doubt he'll still be a bit groggy. He hasn't had his pizza at this point of the recording, I imagine, and he's just, as you can see, he's just spraying shots all over the place. He can't hit a damn thing.
No, those fast movers are keeping their distance and using their speed to stay out of range out of shot, and obviously even his lasers are having trouble making any contact.
Well, those heavy mediums, Eddie, that I've read a bit about from a few people who have managed to get a hold of them or have some field testing, are incredibly heat inefficient. They generate a lot of heat, but the upside is they do a lot of damage. A single clan heavy medium is almost comparable to a single large laser.
Yes, I have heard how nasty they can be. Sadly, I've not had the chance to strip any of them down so far. But who knows, in the future some of this stuff is starting to get a little bit more common. Hell, I've even heard of the occasional mercenary unit wielding a few bits of clan tech.
Yes, obviously some of the special units out there, the pretty boys, the ones that have all the posters and all the rest of them made, all the merchandise. And yes, your likes of your Wolf's Dragoons, your Grey Deaths, your Blue Star Irregulars.
A little different with the Wolf Dragoons. They are clanners.
They are indeed clanners, at least the people who are running the outfit. Oh, this guy looks like he's in a bit of a tough spot.
Oh.
He's running... Oh, well, he was. Quad snub-nose PPC, and not a bad setup.
I thought there was a chance that Rocket might have got the kill there, but no, he screwed it up.
Rocket's got to get a kill in this
Yes, no, well.
Look, it's a lumbering giant. He barely compass mentis in a light mech himself.
Oh, he did just get a kill on a light mech, though.
He popped a flea. A lucky shot.
Flea.
Clearly the rest of the team did all the legwork. He just skimmed it with a laser and got lucky.
Yeah, well, that's usually the way, isn't it?
That is usually the way with Rocket, yes. Here comes the next one. Oh, we got that one as well.
Yeah, well, that obviously badly damaged.
Nearly dead anyway.
Yeah,
again,
it was
it's
taking
more of the
hits from
same.
a lot
More
of
the
other
same,
people.
really.
So I don't think that necessarily counts.
There's another one here.
That's a third.
That's a third kill.
That is a third kill.
And that's a fourth kill. It's a fourth kill, Eddie.
That's a lance.
He's destroyed a lance of mechs.
Well, that's
in a blood
unexpected.
This is highly irregular.
Well, sure, it's him.
I mean, I'll double check with the boffins. I'm fairly certain that this is the.
I'm looking over now. They are nodding.
They're nodding. Yeah.
They're nodding.
But they're also eating digestive biscuits. There.
Yes, they are. Well.
And but he's tearing apart.
Is it gonna get him?
He's not gonna get this one.
Is it gonna get him?
Oh, it might do. It's doing a lot of damage.
He's taking a fair amount.
This AI is running around.
Oh. That was 5.
He took out a star.
Have you checked that?
Punching up the data. Yes, he did, Eddie. He did. 366 match score, 534 damage, 5 kills, and a win. It's 70 points, Eddie.
Wow.
It's academic at this point. And so, Eddie, we roll around from one of the most advanced battle mechs of the period to one of the oldest but more stalwart mechs of the Innisphere.
Yes, but still very advanced, actually. I mean, that computer system is, it's a It's a marvel of the Star League era.
The Tacticon B2000
yes,
battle computer.
You've just read off that piece of paper. Yes, well done.
Yes.
Yes, well, obviously, this is... And you could almost argue that the mech was built around it in a roundabout way. Unfortunately, some would argue not built well enough.
No, that 10 ton of armour is certainly not enough in today's very hectic battlefields.
Yes, and so a number of Cyclops pilots have to do without. The mech was obviously built as a command mech, capable of commanding huge numbers of mechs, in fact an entire brigade.
Oh, well, that's quite significant. Yes, the computer apparently produced a holographic image, didn't it, Ed?
That's right, allowing them to have incredibly pinpoint accurate, and its communication system allowed it to be in constant communication with the drop ships, jump ships, and any orbital equipment, allowing it to have literally pinpoint accurate information constantly being fed straight into its system.
Yes, my only encounters with Cyclops outside of the standard ones back in the Solaris arenas is the HQ model, which actually removed the AC-20 in place of carrying the collapsible command module.
I'm kind of surprised you would ever have come across one of them.
Ah, yes.
Especially on Solaris. I mean, it's a very rare
it wasn't on Solaris. It was back after the retirement days where I was shopping myself around to the New Avalon Institute of Science, hoping to be able to use my years of skill and experience in combat that I might have been able to. And at the time, I had a few friends that worked there, and they were working on a Cyclops 10 HQ, Eddie.
Wow.
And yes, it had the collapsible command module. They were demonstrating it. It was rather impressive.
Well, then you've had access to something I never have. They are incredibly rare. Obviously, they strip out the AC-20, as you said, and it's 4 ton of ammunition. And so it's more of a kind of, as you said, a mobile HQ. Though it can't carry the 7 operatives. They have to travel separately, but are usually helicoptered in.
Or APC as well, apparently. Whatever was available. Unfortunately, that particular Cyclops didn't survive. Unfortunately, it was destroyed on the clan front, I believe.
That's a shame.
Yes, it was a real shame to see it go. It was nicknamed Gillette, although I can't remember why. There was some kind of little tagline that went with it. But yeah, Cyclops Gillette. That was the name of it.
Oh, okay.
And yes, the Cyclops is... Many people believe that the Cyclops is like a mini Atlas, but really that's wrong, because it actually predates the Atlas. If anything, I would actually say that the Atlas
is a big brother.
Is a bigger, more advanced version of a Cyclops when you think about it. I mean, it carries an AC-20 the same way. It changes the SRM-4 to a 6, the LRM-10 jumps to a 20, and it adds a couple of extra medium lasers.
And of course a hell of a lot more armour.
Armour and ammunition, yes. At the sacrifice of speed, because the Cyclops does actually have decent speed. Rocket's shown that here by being able to get across the map without getting the thing torn apart.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd choice to build a mech that some might argue is a bit of a brawler with that AC-20 and medium lasers.
Yes,
and, as you said, SRM-4. Its only long-range weaponry being the LRM-10, which against lighter or medium mechs can obviously keep them at bay, and most such mechs probably wouldn't want to get too close to it with those brawling weaponry. But against heavies and assaults, it seems a little underprepared.
Well, this is
under-armoured.
From my experience in the arenas when I was fighting is part of team battles with Team Sizzle. One of our tactics when we came across the Cyclops was generally just keep at range. The best it can do is fire a few missiles in your direction. As long as you've got a bit of movement and keep using your own long-range weapons, you can slowly tear it apart. And,
yes.
That's what we did.
Not the kind of mech you'd probably saw fighting in the arenas very often. Probably a pilot desperate enough to put such a rare mech into a combat situation, and almost certainly not one that still had its computer system, considering most houses would pay dearly to get their hands on it.
This one definitely didn't have the system. It did have spiked fists, I remember. Sizzle Steve was punched in the face by one. He didn't live very long after that.
No, I suspect not. Obviously, arena combat is very different to real-world a battle combat, obviously. You know you're going up against an opponent, you know you're in relatively tight corners, but situations like this, who knows how a battle is going to turn out. And
Well,
strangely enough, I don't know exactly what the tactic the enemy force is using here. They seem to have decided to stay back, and I'm not quite sure it's working out for them.
The AI definitely was generated here, Eddie, with far more assault mechs.
Yes.
But they don't seem to have taken that armour and firepower to be able to push Rocket's team and really crush them. And Rocket's team was spread out like madman's shite the entire match. And somehow, Eddie, they came through.
Yeah, Rocket now obviously bringing that AC-20 to bear.
Finally.
But he didn't waste it on making shots that just weren't going to hit. Now he is actually starting to do some real damage.
Hanging back like a coward is what is the only reason that he's managed to stay alive this long.
Well, he's in a command mech that, strangely enough, is more of a brawler. So, yes, but he is now brawling. Who knows, maybe he'll even get himself another lucky kill.
He
thought
didn't get that
might
one,
have
but
been
that
his.
Warhawk did look like it was a prime target for
Yes,
a kill.
it did. It certainly did. And, yeah, he's definitely getting into the fight now, bringing that brawl attack setup, you could say. It's a very odd choice to have built a command mech and make it a brawler. I guess the idea was that this mech would... and we're at the
That's
end.
the end of the round.
Yes, but you would assume it would have been built with a few more ranged weapons. But here we go.
No, that's different, folks, different
So what
strokes.
are the scores on the doors?
Well, Eddie, it's a 223 match score, 327 damage, 0 kills, but a win. 30 points.
Not bad.
Not as close to the Blood Asp 70, but we'll see what the rest of it has in store.
Looking forward to it.
Reactor online.
Well, after that last one with the Cyclops, we go over to one of your clan mechs, a 2C.
Well, yes, Eddie, as we head over here for the first of the Highlander brothers, the 2C, equipped with a Gauss rifle, much like the original Highlander, but instead has a pair of Streak 6s, a trio of medium pulse lasers, and an LRM-20, and still keeps that 90-meter jump range.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with my good old-fashioned Star League Highlander, if you don't mind.
I don't blame you, Eddie. I think out of the two, the original is still the more impressive looking, even though the Highlander 2C is within my wheelhouse of an advancement of a classic. I can see that if I had to pick them purely based on looks, it's definitely the original Highlander.
I had a poster of the Highlander up on my wall when I was a kid.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I mean, a few Solaris things as well, obviously, as young lads do. But yes, I had a poster of a Highlander.
Yes, I had numerous posters on my wall as well. Me and the massive, we used to gather together and we'd go down to the local music store and grab ourselves different posters from our favourite albums and the such.
Right.
Which reminds me, Eddie, obviously of the own solo project that I started, Solaris Nights.
Oh, no.
Yes, James McCracken sings the hits.
No, this was never a good idea.
What, Eddie? What was the problem?
I've heard some of them. They were terrible. You can't hold a tune to save your life.
Well, it had such great hits as Money for Nothing, Your Mechs for Free.
This is so bad. Please don't.
What?
Don't.
What?
I don't
Whitworth without you? Yeah, Whitworth without you.
That's...
Whitworth without you.
Oh, this is awful. Please don't.
But, I just don't see what the problem was, Eddie. We had it all ready. They were printed. The posters were ready. You were credited as a producer. It would have sold.
Fix that rubbish you'd bought. For that dodgy studio. I helped fix up the stuff. When I found out you were actually going to use it to make an album.
What's the problem, Eddie?
Because I heard some of it, didn't I?
What's the problem, Eddie?
There's no amount of auto-tuning in this or the next lifetime to make you sound like you can sing.
Oh, come on, Eddie. Some of them are good. What about Another Drac Bites the Dust?
That's racist.
Another Drac Bites the Dust.
You're never going to sell that in bloody Curita, are
Oh,
you?
they don't listen to music anyway, Eddie. I don't think they would have known.
I think they do, you know. What was that? What were some of the others? They were
There
awful.
was Hungry Like the Wolverine.
Oh, God.
Take my mech away. What?
Oh, that was your sad one, was it?
Yeah, that was my ballad.
They're all pretty bloody sad.
Oh.
What was the other one? Warhammer.
Duh, duh, I want to be your Warhammer. I forget.
Call my name.
Yeah, yes, that's it.
Yeah. You know, they're all just rip-offs of ancient Terran music.
Doesn't sound anything like them, Eddie.
No, from
They're
the
all
classical,
original tracks.
From the classical era.
Well, how about
20th century.
how about the love one? Once, twice, 3 times a locust.
No!
I don't see what the problem is, Eddie.
Well, part of it is you can't sing, and all
Okay.
of the tracks are terrible.
More upbeat. Gimme an atlas for this fight.
Oh, no.
No, not that one either.
They're all so bad.
What about Sweet Crab of Mine? Well, I mean, I have to put in the instruments in the background a bit, but you get the idea. What?
Yes, I got the idea. That's why I said it was a terrible one.
You can't hate Careless Stinger.
Oh, God. There's just... Why did you have to bring this up? This is awful.
Well, you reminded me
We're supposed to be talking about the 2 Highlanders. Instead, we're talking about these terrible tracks.
Look, you brought it up. It just reminded me. But I've still got the boxes back home, Eddie.
Oh, I
all
bet
the
you
posters there. I am shirtless. Oiled there. In the, in the dusky sunlight.
You got them to modify your appearance because by then you already had that gut coming through.
I had a wonderful 6-pack.
Perhaps in the background for after you'd finished warbling like a
Wow, Eddie. And I thought you were my
decapitated
friend.
moose.
I thought you were my friend, Eddie.
I am. That's why I tried to stop you from destroying yourself further.
This album will get out, Eddie. I know that there are a lot of self-publishing options now.
If it does get out, you're going to contravene the...
I'm going to move it forward into
several war crimes are going to be...
I'm going to move it forward in a couple of decades, Eddie.
A couple of decades. Oh,
yeah. Some new tracks are going to get laid down. The Solaris Nights is going to come out. That's going to be boom followed up by Solaris Nights 2. What? Sorry, Eddie. Got a bit excited there. Punched in the arm.
Just you know what? No.
What?
Let's just not bring this up again.
Well, Rocket's dead in the Highlander 2C anyway. His score was 277 match score, 534 damage, no win, no kills, 35 points, Eddie.
Yes.
Well, with that out of the way, Eddie, we go over to the classic, the Highlander.
Yeah, the real Highlander, that's right. And hopefully, unlike our conversation over the Highlander 2C, there won't be any more desperate attempts at singing.
Desperate attempts, Eddie. You know,
right,
at least I
attempts.
put myself out there, Eddie. I actually tried something new rather than you just staying within your bubble, just content, I assume. Never really wanting to push your own limits and see just how far you can go.
Look, I know what I'm good at. I'm good at engineering, I'm good at pulling mechs apart, I'm good at figuring stuff like that
And I'm good at entertaining people, and that's exactly what I was doing, I would have done, with Solaris Nights.
I just don't know. No, it may have entertained some people, but not in the way you had in mind.
What do you mean, Eddie?
Well, I think a lot of people would have been laughing or crying.
Well, I mean, some of the jokes in the songs are quite, upbeat. I can understand why people would get a laugh out of them, and crying, some of them are quite emotional, Eddie. So,
No.
What?
That's not what I meant. Just with how terrible the whole thing is. Plus you're singing.
I've been told I've got very good singing.
You've been told you've got very good singing.
Yes, Eddie.
By someone who doesn't understand how English works. You've been told...
Well, it's my housekeeper, okay? That's all I'm saying.
You've been told you've got very good singing.
Yes, by my housekeeper.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, she's from the Capellan Confederation, originally.
Ah, I see. Right. Okay.
English is not her first language.
Well, maybe that's why she thought your singing was good. I mean...
Maybe she's got taste, Eddie.
That you have very good singing.
No, the boffin's cat's been let loose again.
Yeah, well... It's just...
Shut up! Boffin's cat.
Quiet!
Fluffy one. Anyway. The Highlander, Eddie. Now, this is your pick to win, isn't it, this episode of Best in Class? But after the performance of the Blood Arse, I'm not really sure it's got that good a chance.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we might see Rocket pull it out of the bag.
The only thing you see Rocket pull out of a bag is some kind of condiment to put on one of his many original designs of pizza.
Yeah, well, like
And
you're
it's
singing,
usually terrifying.
like you're singing, they're definitely not for human consumption. And yeah, the Highlander, yes, it is one of my favourites.
It's a classic of the Star League
It
era.
is a classic of the Star League era. It took me a very, very long time to even get inside the bowels of one of them. And even then, even longer before I could even get my hands on one of them myself.
Well, was it an original 732B, or was it just the 732?
It was the 732.
Right, so not the Gauss rifle-equipped version.
God, no, gosh, no, sadly not. Nowadays, obviously, that's a little easier to come by, but back when I first got to help repair one, it had lost its Gauss rifle, and now we were having to downgrade her.
Yes, replaced with an AC-10, I believe.
That's right, yeah, and it's a tricky rework. Obviously, the slugs a Gauss rifle fires are literally just that. They're slugs of metal, basically. And though there's a bit more to it than that. There's not much. So they're very easy to keep going where ammo is concerned. Nothing overtly special about them. But
Boffin's cat silence.
But obviously an AC is using live ammunition, and so you have to make a number of changes to the entire feed system.
Cheaper and easier to maintain, though, in the long run. I can understand the switch.
Yes, with their Gauss rifle too badly damaged to be repaired, and frankly, the chance of getting the parts and anyone who knew how to correctly repair it. I mean, I tried looking through some bits and pieces I could to have a look at it, but I wasn't 100% sure, and I probably would have caused it more damage than good at the time. There was no Helm memory core to look through.
No.
So, yeah.
There certainly wasn't any.
No, there wasn't. So, AC-10 it was, but I was glad of the chance to be able to work on her. She was an old thing, and she looked it as well, unfortunately. She had definitely been through through several battles.
Through the riggers.
Yes, and had already had a number of minor changes and upgrades, or downgrades, I suppose you could say, to keep her going. But the loss of that Gauss rifle for the pilot, he felt bad. His family had had the mech for quite a few years.
Well, certainly something that Rocket definitely didn't feel when he did that jumping Gauss rifle kill on the Stalker.
Sorry, I spoke over
kill.
it, but that was an impressive kill, yeah.
Highlighting the Highlander's ability to jump roughly 90 meters and get that thunderous shot there. That was a very rare kill and shows skill for the ape-like being.
Yes, that's right. Only thing the Highlander's better known for when it comes to jumping is, of course, the Highlander burial maneuver.
Yes, and just like that fluffy animal that the boffins keep allowing into the room, it's going to get buried.
Any second.
Any second.
But speaking of any second,
the round is over,
yes.
yes.
It is over,
and,
yes.
Rocket, unfortunately, hit the wrong button at the end, but he assures me that the actual match score, which he got, was 354, and his damage was 328. And he did get a kill, which we saw, and it was a win. And he says it was 40 points in total. 5 clear of the Highlander 2C.
Wow.
An impressive score.
Nice. Mad Cat Mark II.
Yes.
You know, all I ever hear from the Clannies is how good the Mad Cat is. It does make me scratch my head and wonder why you need a Mark II. I mean, they already tried making a Mark II. They called it the Linebacker. It was supposed to replace the Mad Cat. Oh, the Mad Cat was too slow. It needed something a little faster. Let's make a smaller, slightly less armoured version that can move a little bit quicker, and then let that run around. But it didn't really take off because, frankly, everyone loves the Mad Cat, and I can kind of see why. Not a huge fan of the clan mechs, but the Mad Cat is very, very good. But then suddenly another clan says, "Oh no! They made a mistake. They went faster and lighter. We need to go bigger and slower. So let's make the Mad Cat Mark II." And here it is. And yeah, it's alright, I guess. It's nothing special. I don't think I'd bother with it. But, you know, each to their own. You're not saying very much, by the way.
I'm on the short list to buy one, Eddie.
You're
I spoke to the Diamond Shark representative about a year ago, and I should be getting mine later this year.
Oh, well,
I thought it might be good, and you might be able to do one of your Belly of the Beasts, go around inside a brand spanking new clan mech. Have a bit of a ferret around, as you'd say.
Yes.
And
well,
I could do a McCracken's big balls about the Gauss rifles and the missiles.
That would be marvelous. Yes.
Well, I mean, after what you said.
No, that sounds fantastic.
I mean,
it's still obviously it's a 90-ton behemoth. It's got wields 2 Gauss rifles for extra range medium lasers, all clan tech. Obviously, the latest. Obviously, I'd love to have a look around. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I could cancel it though.
No. I think that's a great idea. As you said, we could each benefit from that, and obviously, I'm sure there'd be quite a few people interested in seeing you marching around in that and showing off its abilities with your piloting skills.
If you think they would, Eddie, because it.
Yeah, of course.
It's just what you said before.
No.
Sounded like people wouldn't really be interested.
No, I was talking from another person's perspective.
Right.
But if I was the kind of person who had the chance to obviously look around the innards of a brand new clan mech,
okay, right. Well, if that's what you meant for, then that's fine. I'm looking forward to jumping into the Madcap Mark II and having a good old stomp around the test track.
Oh, don't worry about it, my colleague. I'd definitely be interested in that situation, and
just gonna throw a sock at the boffin's cat.
Oh God, he really is as well. He missed.
I missed the cat.
And now you haven't got any socks.
I have no socks, and my feet are cold, Eddie.
Yes, your feet are cold, aren't they? Very cold. This is a cold floor.
It's cold.
It's a very
wooden floor.
Cold wooden floor.
It's expensive to have a wooden floor.
And now you're trying to
use 3062.
Trying to use whatever you can to stop your feet from getting cold. You look very ridiculous. But you'll look amazing in your Madcap Mark II. You thinking of a paint job?
I was going to go with red.
Red?
Yes, because that's more expensive. And according to the Diamond Shop representative, it makes it go a little bit quicker. Scientific tests have proven it. That's what they told me.
No, that's...
We're going to have flame decals up the sides.
It's decals. Don't. Just go with something a little bit more...
Well, there was someone who told me it was decals.
No, it's
decals.
It's decal.
Decals.
Yeah.
Well, whoever told me it was decals then is a complete moron.
Yes, they are.
Right.
They definitely are.
Okay, right. Well,
it's going to cost you a lot, this, isn't it?
Yes.
We're talking at least 20 million.
It's up there. It is in the double figures. If we have a look at the exact amount, 24 million sea-bills. But I've been making payments across that year.
Buy 2 Atlases and spare parts for that.
Yeah, but it's not a Madcap Mark II.
No,
it's a brand new tech.
2 Atlases would beat a Madcap Mark II.
Probably one would probably be, to be honest.
I mean, it's entirely possible.
Madcap Mark II doesn't have any hands, so it can't really defend itself from the Atlas starts punching it.
Grab one of those, smash it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how they, don't take a lot of...
Well, it has...
It'll be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Premium leather seats,
yes, I'm sure it does.
There's a lot of mods.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, Rocket. Well,
he didn't get any kills in it either.
Oh, God's sakes. Well,
I think it's going to be great.
211 match score, 313 damage, no kills, and I lost 25 points.
It'll be wonderful.
It's the lowest score of the lot. Anyway, with that out of the way,
okay.
Eddie, we move over back to the Inner Sphere with the Mauler.
The Mauler, yes. Now, this is a nice new design. Originally.
New?
Well,
3030, he said.
Dabaku. Yes, I'm well aware.
We know about the conflicting reports around the whole Daboku.
Look, compared to some of the stuff I work on, this is a new design.
Well, that's true, Eddie, yes. You do work on some pretty ancient designs. I mean, you've even had your hands on a Mackie, you dirty lucky boy, you.
Yes, that's right. That was, oh my goodness, that was true. But we're not talking about that today.
We're talking going from a Mackie to a Mauler.
That's right.
And this Boffin's cat has gone completely effing mental.
And we will be kicking it up the bottom.
You just handle that for me for a second,
okay.
Eddie. Just let me get past the manager.
So, the Mauler, obviously, so what some people may not know is the Mauler actually got its name from the Fedcoms. So they had gone up against a number of Dabakus. Not knowing what it was called, they nicknamed it the Mauler.
Dealt with, Eddie.
Right. When the Dabaku turned out to be... this is a ridiculous situation. Something of a failure.
They shoved us into a corner.
They decided to go back to the drawing board and do a redesign. And when they relaunched it, they decided to use the Fencom name, Mauler.
Yes, and when I was helping as a consultant on the Holovid cartoon series that was produced, I suggested that the Mauler actually be used by one of the hero characters.
Yes, that's right, yes.
I mean, at the time, I did also say that it was a federated Commonwealth design because I was given the wrong information. That's what I was given.
Yes, well, he pilots them. He doesn't necessarily know who builds them, how they work, or anything like that. Isn't that right, my colleague?
No
Yes.
comment.
Well, considering how bad you fluffed up that clan mech design, any road. So, the Mauler, it turned out to be quite a brutal mech, and the name is perfect, isn't it?
Well, it's a very fitting name, yes, Eddie, for a mech that basically does what it says on the tin. It mauls you at range.
That's right, that's what this is. It's a ranged brawler, you could almost say.
It's a bramauler.
A bramauler.
A mabrawler. Mabrawler! That's what it should be called. The Mabrawler.
I thought you were having a fit then or something. But yes, it carries 4 AC2s. The weapon that has the longest range, or at least it was until our cousins from the Parts Unknown turned up.
From up north.
From up north, as my colleague says. 2 LRMs, one on each shoulder. Stacked quite high, but giving it quite good clearance, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, it's very good for firing over hills, but not so great in an urban environment where it can give itself away.
That's true, that's true. And then those 2 brutal large lasers.
Yes, ER larges, nice punch but high heat. I think that's one of the problems that the Mauler suffers is, although it's also relatively slow, it's also got a very, very difficult heat curve that newer pilots may too quickly experience a shutdown should they get a little too trigger happy. Rocket's had a fair amount of experience in the Mauler, mainly because we just sometimes make him just play just for the fun of it, just to see him cry. And as you can see here, he's duking it out with an Atlas, and I mean, he gave as good as he got. The Atlas died as well, but that was it for the Mauler, unfortunately.
Wow.
Eddie, that's all we can say.
Sweet.
I know that was the best out of the 2 rounds we could get from the Mauler. An impressive 412 damage and a 222 match score. No kills though, not a win, but it was 30 points.
Sensors online.
And so, Eddie, we roll around to the Supernova.
Ah, yes. A bit of an older design. For the clans.
Old by clan standards, yes. From what I've gleaned from a few of the bondsman clans that I've spoken to in the past, it seems the Supernova was built from our own venerable king crab, Eddie.
Yeah, an attempt to try to deal with the fact that there was a lack of AC-20 ammo, or ammo for the AC rounds anyway. So they decided to stick in a bunch of large lasers, and it didn't fare well, but they liked the idea, so they decided to go back to the drawing board, use a similar shape and chassis, and, well, here we are. One Supernova.
I have to say, Eddie, I actually quite like the design. The Supernova is a bit like myself, Eddie. It's simple, straightforward, to the point.
That's right, yeah. Big and heavy and slow, but it carries a reasonable amount of firepower. The 6 extended range clan large lasers really can pack a punch, but unfortunately they also pack a punch where the heat is concerned. Isn't that right, my colleague?
Yes. If you stand close enough with an uncooked piece of meat, your choice, of course, it will be flash fried in a relatively short amount of time, Eddie.
Yes, that's right. And in fact, there have been situations where ground troops apparently have been very badly injured.
Well, they have heat stroke when they stand near the thing.
Yes, it does fire off quite a lot of heat, and those heat sinks mean that it's been said that some parts of the rear of the mech sometimes even glow as it tries to push the heat back and out through certain rear sections where the heat sinks are. And so, yes, there's been a few minor changes done over the years, and they even found that certain types of paint will actually deal with the problem.
Yes, paint will help alleviate a lot of heat issues.
That's right. Well, lots of
Eddie,
paints
is
can
this
have
you?
certain metal
Hold on,
qualities.
Eddie.
What?
You're not shilling for that paint company again, are you?
It's very good stuff, and if you are a mech warrior, you may realise that certain paints may have
we can't
certain
advertise
effects. And
other non-aligned products, Eddie.
I didn't say the name of the product. I just said that
You're heavily hinting toward this product, Eddie.
I'm just saying that the clans themselves even realise the benefits of certain
I'm not sure, Eddie. I don't think that the clans... is there any actual proof that this paint helps to vent heat quicker?
No, it doesn't vent the heat. They don't use it for that. It's basically used to try and stop the rear area from, well, glowing a little when it overheats. I mean, you've seen mechs do that yourself in the arena.
Yeah, usually because they're on fire, Eddie.
They're not on fire. They're literally overheating.
Well, the
To
ones
the
I
point
saw.
where-
The only mech I ever saw glowing from behind was those piloted by Cyclops.
Acquired.
Yes. Heat stroke indeed.
Yes, Michelle Clapspaten, who doesn't show you one
Me
ounce
and
of
the Hazelwood Massive.
attention.
We discuss where we take her for our honeymoon when whichever one of us lucky group would manage to snap her up. Competition's still live, Eddie, even though she's been married for 10 years. We'll get her one day.
And one of the Hazelwood Massive is... Well, he's not dead, is he? He's in jail for a massive fraud.
Target destroyed.
You were almost involved in that, weren't you? You almost got yourself in a lot of trouble. You had to make a deal or something, did you, with the prosecutors? You ended up
there was a discussion,
giving
Eddie.
evidence against him? One of your old Massive?
I didn't make any
That's
statements against him.
what you did.
I just
If
I was
I remember
asked
rightly.
legitimate questions. I gave honest answers, Eddie.
Well, you gave honest answers, or you would find yourself in a lot of hot water without a heat sink to cool it down, eh? Eh?
Or special paint, Eddie. that helps
Yes,
to cool
or
it
the
down.
special paint that may have helped with certain situations. As I said, some of them contain a fair amount of lead or other thing, and if you use the right kind of paint, it can have unexpected benefits.
Well, that was the paint shilling section there, folks. Sorry about that. Eddie sometimes needs to make money on the side, and
Well, yes, because someone's been pilfering my pay.
you got some of
You have had the letter.
Did you not have a paycheck last week?
Yes, and you've had a letter from my attorney making it absolutely clear that I want the rest.
Do you know how expensive paper is these days, Eddie? No
I
one
don't
uses
care.
it. It's
I
all
don't
digital.
care. I demanded paper.
Paid extra for paper.
Yes, you damn right I
You're
did.
complaining about money, and then you're paying extra for paper, Eddie.
I demanded it.
Destroyed.
Well, you got it.
So I could
you
put
got
it in
some
your
of your
face
payment.
in black and white. Alright, that bit's in...
That's in blue. That's
in blue.
biro.
That's biro, where he wrote over it. But the point is,
Could have
I'm
been a fountain
owed
pen, I
that
suppose.
money, and I want it back.
Well, you got a payment last
Yes,
week.
I got a payment, one check. How many episodes have we done?
Well, this is episode 15, Eddie,
Exactly.
and
So
several more
that's
to come.
14 more back pay, plus I made it absolutely clear I wouldn't do any more episodes unless I got paid.
If we get the album sorted, that back pay's all yours, Eddie.
No one's gonna buy that tripe! I mentioned this earlier. They're terrible! Once, twice, 3 times a locust. Who wants to listen to that?
Acquired.
I imagine a lot of people would like to listen to that.
No one wants to listen to that. Please,
5%.
please. Our fans have got taste. Make it absolutely clear, thank you very much, make it absolutely clear that the last thing you want to hear is this tone-deaf idiot warbling away to himself. Please.
I wouldn't be warbling away. I'd be warbling to you, dear listener,
Oh my god.
as I sing the mech-related hits.
They're not mech-related hits. They're ancient songs from Earth that you have no rights to, I should point out. That
I'd
you've
love to
just
see you
added
prove it,
mech
Eddie.
names over.
There's no.
It's once,
there's no
twice,
link.
3 times a lady, not locust. Why would anyone sing
Why would
that?
anyone use lady? That doesn't make sense as the lyric. Locust fits perfectly as the love ballad to the light mech in all our hearts.
Oh my god.
I had a friend once who had a locust that was called My Bonnie Heather.
No, you did. Oh, don't start that again.
What?
New target
Just
acquired.
now.
He was an amazing pilot. He would fire all of his ammunition and then leave his allies on the field.
Acquired.
Then he'd walk away.
Yes, he'd do what... Yes, you've said. It's very strange, but that's what he did. And where was he from?
Periphery, I believe.
Yes, well, periphery people can be a bit weird.
Well, yes, I'm not going to deny that, Eddie. Some periphery people can be a bit strange. Oh, and Rockets won the round.
Wow! And he got 3 kills whilst we were waffling. Oh, my God, the Supernova's done amazing.
It's almost like we watched these ahead of time, Eddie. 562 damage, 459 match score, 3 kills, a win, 65 points. So dangerously close to the Blood Asp. And as you can see with the standings here, I think it's all to play for. If the Supernova can pull out a win, I think it could just beat the Blood Asp. Otherwise, the Blood Asp has got this one.
In the
And arms down. It doesn't have hands. Well, I guess we'll just go over to the Grand Melee.
And we'll find out.
Any second now. There we go. Right now, the boffin's queued it up properly for a change. There we are, back
That was a little slow.
in the Solaris Arena of Death. And they've kicked off.
Well, we're in the Outreach part of Solaris, which were pilots of dubious backgrounds and piloting mechs of,
Dubious quality.
dubious quality, yes. Often acquired off the back of a...
I'm actually
off the back
amazed,
of a
Eddie,
drop
that
ship.
Triflix will actually allow us to broadcast the deaths of pilots so regularly every week. Because none of them come out of this alive.
Well, because they put out real matches in the arenas that have deaths every week, so it's,
Well, they tried... Oh, we've already had a death. That was the Mad Cat Mark II going down minus 15 points.
That Mad Cat
It just popped.
will be amazing when you get it.
Wow.
It really will be great. 24 million.
24 million.
24 million.
I think it'd be good.
Already made the deposit, haven't you?
Oh, we've had a... Yes, I made the deposit a while back, yes.
Anyway, back to the...
I've been paying it off over a year.
There's some typing going on there.
Yes, Rocket's not as neglecting his duties there as being cameraman. I don't know why we allowed it to be cameraman. Was there a reason we allowed it to be cameraman, Eddie?
Because if there was a real cameraman, we had to pay.
Oh, that's right, yes. And
We just gave him some
Rocket, we
pizza
just
in
feed
his
him.
little
We just
thing.
feed him, yeah.
Yeah.
He's become rather enamoured with the Mauler at the moment. I don't blame him. It's a fantastic looking assault
It is a
mech.
very good design.
There's the Highlander 2C duking it out there, getting a lot of AC2 fire in return. But
Come on, where's the Highlander?
I'm not quite sure, Eddie. It might already be dead. There goes the Mauler. It's down to the Highlander 2C and the Supernova.
Oh, exactly what we were just talking about.
Yes, prescient, isn't it? Well, here we go, Eddie. This is it, the big fight. Looks like the Highlander's lost its Gauss rifle,
Can the
though.
Highlander 2 bring it back after being defeated in points by the Highlander?
It's been very much a clan-heavy episode, this
Look
one.
at the damage that's taken.
The Supernova doesn't even have to move. The Highlander is just staying at a nice distance for it to allow it to take its time with the shots, taking a bit of pulse laser fire in return. Supernova just casually walking away, letting the heat vent. It's taking a bit of damage in return. And it's going to fire any second now, I'm assuming.
Going
Maybe
for some kind of...
There we... Oh! And that's
what
it,
a
the
strike!
Supernova wins! And the Mr. Bigs are in there like jackals, immediately getting the kills. We go over to the scores, Eddie. And well, Eddie, the final scores here, the Supernova pipping it to the post with 81.
It's a virtual photo finish.
80 for the Blood Arse, 44 and 40 for the Highlander, putting them joint first to the Cyclops as well. And the Highlander just beaten again. The Highlander 2-seat, 43 points of 44 from the Highlander.
Wow.
Impressive. The Mauler, bring it up with 32. And the Madcap Mark II with 22 at the end.
Well, like I said, it'll still be great when you get it. I mean,
And on that financial bombshell, good night.
Night.
And that is the 90-tonners in the bag.
It is, yeah, in the bag, as you say.
In the pocket. Smooth in the drawer.
I don't know what you're saying now. You just,
Cocked and loaded.
That's not what they say.
Finished
That's not
and
no, please don't do
rimished.
it. Just don't do it. Just stop.
In the pipe.
I'd like to thank everyone that helped us out, as usual.
5 by 5.
Shut up. Thank everyone that helped. Hope you enjoyed this latest episode.
We know we did.
apparently. We suspect that there may be a few...
You're going to have to pay me to try and sing,
music-related comments.
to try and write and sing songs as James
yeah,
McCracken.
there's just no way. I don't think his voice could hack it. But anyway, there you go. Another episode done. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Once.
No.
Twice.
No.
3 times a locust.
Oh, you.